Okay, I guess we don't need this thing. Good evening. It's great to have everybody here. I call this meeting of Magnolia Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. So if everybody will please stand, Ms. Ebel is going to lead us in our invocation.
It's been our long-standing tradition to pray before these events, and so if you choose to join me in prayer, please bow your head. Father God, thank you so much. This is such a wonderful time of year. Our friends and family join us during this season. Please bless their safe travels as friends and family come to our homes and we go to their homes. Please help us remember the reason for this wonderful season. And Lord, please look over our children in our schools. Please look over our teachers. And please bless our constables as they watch over our children every day. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. So we'll do our pledges now. If Presley and Nora will come up and help us out to get us started. Y'all can just stand in the front here. And our flags are right back here. So who's doing the U.S.? All right, perfect. Just get us kicked off over here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we'll do the Texas one.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Excellent. So Presley, if you'll stay up here, Nora, you can have a seat. We're going to bring you back in just a second.
Thank you for moving the mic for me. Good evening, Dr. Stevens, Mr. Blizzard, members of the board, everyone here with us tonight, and especially the family of Miss Presley. My name is Julia Vinghouse, and I am really here proudly to present Presley as our Student of the Month. Presley Yates is an 8th grade student at Bear Branch Junior High, is a member of the National Junior Honor Society, just finished her last season of junior high volleyball as undefeated district champs, and plans to play volleyball in high school as well. Presley also plays club volleyball for Revolution. She attends church on Wednesdays, likes to hang out with friends, go to high school football games, and joins in on study groups where she helps her friends with algebra homework. Making good grades is very important to her, as she is a straight-A student. Presley is a hard worker and works well with others. She likes to take risks when no one else wants to and to be challenged. Presley's favorite subject is math because she likes that there is a problem-solving method to get the answer correct and knowing that it's right because you can plug it back in. She says Miss Rohde is an outstanding algebra teacher because she is understanding and willing to explain the problems to her one-on-one if she can't understand them. Presley's favorite teacher of all time is Miss Nichols, who was her 7th grade English teacher. She said, "I'm not really an English person, but Miss Nichols made class fun, which kept things interesting and made me never want to fall asleep." Presley would like to attend college in Wisconsin on a volleyball scholarship. If that doesn't work out, she'd like to attend Texas A&M or Texas Tech because that's where her sister is. She is looking into being an occupational therapist or most recently a behavioral analysis worker for the FBI. A few things from Presley's teachers. Coach Chehersky says Presley is very deserving of receiving this award. Presley is not only an outstanding athlete on the court, she is an outstanding student and leader off the court. She comes to practice every day wanting to get better and to help her team win. She has a great work ethic and strives to do her best every day. Miss Nichols says Presley is an outstanding young lady. She is hardworking, helpful, and determined. She is a role model student. She is one of a kind, my favorite all-time student. She has wonderful, well-rounded personality. She can take charge of a situation in class, helping struggling students out, and thinks outside the box. Miss Middlestat says Presley is a great candidate to represent Bear Branch Junior High. She is such a hard worker and always so kind to others. She is reliable, trustworthy, and can always be counted on to do the right thing, even when no one is watching. And finally, Miss Mayhall says Presley Yates is a wonderful student. She makes excellent grades, participates in classroom activities, and is responsible for her work. She consistently has a contagious smile on her face, even under her mask, and is always respectful and friendly to everyone around. Presley is an excellent candidate for Student of the Month and exceeds expectations for a student her age. Presley is one of those students that makes a teacher feel so blessed that I had the honor of having her in my class. I hope that she sets her goals high, and I have no doubt in my mind she will accomplish all of them. Congratulations, Presley.
Yeah, if y'all just have a seat, we'll bring you right back in a second.
All right, good evening. Thank you, Mr. Blizzard, Dr. Stevens, and board for having us tonight. We are super excited to present our Student of the Month, Miss Nora Fehrenbacher. We'd like to say welcome to her mom and her dad and her aunt who are all here, her brother Beckham, and then I know that Logan is at home cheering for you at home, that's for sure. Her teachers are also here. Teachers, where are you? Could you give us a wave? There they are over here, Miss Glover and Miss Ray. And we have our counselor, Miss Woody, and our assistant principal, Mrs. Stewart. You have a huge fan club tonight. And look at all these people that showed up just for you. Awesome. All righty, here we go. Nora Fehrenbacher is a fourth grade student at Nichols Sawmill Elementary. She has attended NSC since kindergarten, where she is an all-A student with excellent attendance. She enjoys all subjects, but most especially writing. Outside of the school, Nora enjoys swimming competitively. She also enjoys spending time with her family, and over Thanksgiving, she helped to build a big tree house and swing set with her family. Last summer, she and her friends set up a snow cone stand and donated their proceeds to Texas Children's Hospital. She loves animals and has 10 chickens, a peacock, a fish, and 3 Great Dane puppies who are the size of small ponies because they come through Car Rider quite often. Her favorite animals are actually giraffes and elephants. Nora is a kiddo with a very kind soul, always putting others before herself. Mrs. Berna, Nora's second grade teacher, states, Nora is a conscientious worker who puts her whole heart in every relationship and task. Mrs. Newberry, Nora's librarian, shared this about Nora. Nora is an amazing kid. Last year, she played May, the supporting lead in our Junie B. Jones play. She was the first to memorize all of her lines, and she never missed a practice. She always gave her best at every practice. She's so sweet, and she always made sure to include our younger cast members and made them feel included and encouraged. She has a very special place in her heart for children with special needs, particularly her youngest brother. She has been watching, learning, and assisting his many therapists since she was 3, and she even conducts her own mini therapy sessions on a regular basis. At a young age, Nora was inspired by a very experienced and wise occupational therapist and has wanted to be an occupational therapist ever since she can help other children with special needs. Nora's 2 favorite places in the world are being here at home in Magnolia and visiting New York City. She intends to follow in her mom's footsteps and attend college in New York City to receive her doctorate in occupational therapy. Nora, whether we see you walking on the red carpet in Hollywood or we have the privilege of calling you Dr. Nora Fehrenbacher, or maybe even both, we are so super proud to call you Nichols Sawmill Student of the Month. Awesome job, lady. Awesome job.
This work? All right, perfect. Hey, we just wanted to give you certificates. Presley, congratulations to you. Nora, congratulations to you. If you're good at math, you can figure this out that we've got close to 13,000 students in our district, and we do this board meeting 9 times, in which we recognize Students of the Month 9 times a year. So 9 times 2 is 18, and we've got 13. So you're in thin air, which is really cool. Congratulations to you guys. You've done great. And if you decide you want to take that math to A&M, maybe we can talk about that. And if you want to use all those animals at vet school, go to vet school, we could talk about that. I sound like I'm putting in a plug for A&M here. So anyway, congratulations to you guys. And Devam, has some extra gifts for you.
There's a gift card in there. There you go. Okay. And if I could take a picture of it.
Another cool thing is we're going to see them again because they're youngsters in the district. So
No doubt, going to be more.
get to see you in these board meetings more than once.
Celebrate the great things these two have done. You know, every year, every month, I think, they're not going to get any better than this, but it seems like every month we get some more outstanding students up here. So we're so proud of you and
That's
to
right.
have you here and to honor you tonight. And that's the first thing we start off with is honoring our students, and because that's what we're about in this whole meeting here. So
That's why it's
congratulations.
It's the funnest part of the board meeting, and we don't take that lightly. So cool. Good job, ladies. All right, so Ms. Myers is next, I think.
Good evening, Mr. Blizzard, Board, and Dr. Stevens. Tonight we are going to give you an update on the new COVID-19 testing center that the district opened last Monday, December the 7th. The testing site, which is open 2 to 3 hours a day for MISD students and staff, for those who have developed symptoms of COVID or who have been in close contact, can now be tested at this site. In the first week, we weren't sure what to expect in terms of volume, and we were pleasantly surprised. In 5 days, we tested 141 people. The response has been great. One parent said, "This is genius." You don't think about the testing site until it's something that you need for your child. I would like to invite our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Martinez, to give the board more details about the operation of our new testing site.
First off, let me just say what a privilege it is to be able to follow wonderful human beings like Nora and Presley. Lord knows I could use a therapist, so anytime your services are available, let me know. Thank you, Board. Thank you, Dr. Stevens, for giving me the opportunity to tell you about this milestone that we have crossed. It's a big one. Let me remind you of what the goal is in all of this. Our main chief goal is to keep these viral loads low enough to maximize the safety of our children and in-person learning. To do this, we've worked in conjunction with the CDC, TEA, the Texas Department of Emergency Management, the Health Department, and some of the best children's hospitals, and of course, the word of our community, the voices of our community. We do this to develop mitigating strategies. In developing those strategies, we've come up with some foundational approaches, and let me go over some of those with you just for a moment. Partnering with public health agencies, using a multi-layered safety protocol, which includes physical distancing, cohorting, proper ventilation, masking, and hygiene of hands and facility. Clear instructions to families, short-term and long-term online learning options, flexible attendance policies for students and staff, appropriate staffing for school health services, including nurses and counselors, prioritizing up-to-date immunizations, most specifically at this time of year is going to be influenza, safety protocols for sports and extracurricular activities, and convenient, cost-effective testing protocols, focusing on quick identification of outbreaks with point-of-care testing. And it is that I want to discuss with you this evening. Our testing center uses a test produced by Abbott Laboratories called the Buy Next Now antigen test. This test has a high sensitivity at 97.1% and a high specificity at 98.5%, making it particularly good when pretest probability is high. It's an easy and safe test to administer. It does not require a lab, and it's quick, only 15 minutes to process. A major part of the testing center is its convenience. It's located at the event center. It's open every morning when school's in session. This is incredibly important because this allows our families with a sick child to come directly to the event center without entering the school and determine whether or not their child has COVID or not. Meaning that they can either go home knowing they have COVID or, in the great majority of cases, come to school the same day, as long as they're otherwise able to come to school. The test center itself is able to see a very large number of people. We process approximately 15 to 20 tests an hour. Now, just to give you some reference, the average urgent care sees about 4.5 patients an hour. We've designed the test center to avoid infection while people are there, using masks, social distancing, hygiene, and one-way trafficking for all individuals, so nobody ever overlaps, in case there is someone who has the virus that is there. Over the course of 4 days, we processed 181 tests. We returned to school 75 students and 39 staff. That's 114 people out of 181 who went back to school the same day. We had 14 positive cases for staff and 39 positive cases for students. That's 53 cases not spreading the virus in the school appropriately. One of the other parameters which we are tracking is the close contacts. This is a very important parameter because what it tells us is what is the spread like in our schools. As we follow close contacts, the more positive close contact cases we have, the more clear spread we're seeing. It allows us to identify potential outbreaks. It also speaks to how important it can be to implement the factors that limit someone being identified as a potential close contact, and therefore not sending home a lot of children unnecessarily from school. Our results are shared with the health authorities, with schools, and with the individuals that test. Health authorities are identified through our human resource department. Our schools are identified by a spreadsheet which we keep so that they have direct access to that information immediately. They don't have to wait for that information. It's directly put right the same day to those schools. So if they get a positive, they can do contact tracing that day. Individuals put their information into an app, and that app sends them an email with their result so that they can have it to show anybody that they need to, their actual result. In addition, we actually give them their result immediately when they're at the testing center so they can return right to school. Cost effective. The testing is free to our staff and to our students. It only requires 3 staff to operate at that rate, which is incredible. Cost savings to the community. When you consider that the average urgent care visit is about $350, at 181 tests, that's $63,000 in 4 days. When you consider the average emergency room visit runs about $2,300, in 4 days, that's near $420,000. That doesn't even consider the fact of childcare savings, savings from lost wages, and savings from potential hospitalizations. We also see savings in the decreased transmission, meaning future illness goes down, and we see savings there as well. We also see cost savings to the district. When we look at teachers' days saved, in other words, get them back into the class and teaching, 117 teaching days saved. Approximate savings by not having to bring in ancillary staff to support their loss, $15,000 in 4 days. Now, and by the way, we have room for improvement, so we're not done yet. There's a few things. I get very chance to thank the people who actually did this. So it's one thing to come up with the concept, the idea. It's another thing to implement something like this. So I wanted to thank our school nurses. They participated in our focus group, and they were instrumental in creating the operational guidance, which put us in the right direction to create this center. They also have the ongoing job of surveillance and making sure that we get referred appropriate students, which they have been doing quite wonderfully, I have to say. You have to consider this is a lot of students with a lot of different kinds of symptoms. It's not an easy job. They also are on the front lines of family and staff education and guidance. And they play a wonderful role in that. I would also like to thank the assistant principals who do an incredible job of contact tracing and spend hours managing that process, and also speaking with families in regard to online learning. Our center staff who operate, those 3 individuals, they have streamlined the process to the point where we can do 20 patients in an hour. And of course, the people sitting at this table over here, our administration, Denise, Jennifer, our administrative assistant, and Mike Overman. I don't know where you are, but thank you. All of these people took this concept and operationalized it in less than 1 week. 1 week. It's pretty amazing. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. And I want to say thank you to the community. You guys are the ones who are really doing the hard work and making everything safe for all of us. So thank you. Any questions?
I have a question. So all the testing is, I understand that it's 100% voluntary. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Can you go into that a little bit more, that procedure? So if the school nurse has a child that they're suspecting is positive, what's the protocol?
So there's 2 ways to get into the center from a parent's or a guardian's perspective. One is that the guardian sees that their child has symptoms, a cough, congestion, cold, body aches, diarrhea, just the symptoms. And they can come to the center themselves and say, let us know that they have symptoms. The other possibility is that the child turns out to be found to have a congestion or a cough when they get to school. They're usually referred to the school nurse, and the school nurse has been given the protocols of what kind of symptoms to look for. At that point, they call the family, or the vice principal can call the family, and then they are referred to either our testing center, which is free, or they can go also to their doctor or to somewhere else, as long as they get a PCR or COVID or a Binext Now test.
So what I'm hearing you say is that if they get some kind of protocol that would send them there, since we can test them immediately, they stand the potential to come back to school much more rapidly.
Same day.
Okay.
That afternoon.
Okay. Because right now, I mean, we're all probably aware, I assume most of you are, how many schools across the country are still shutting down right now because of COVID. Navasota is shutting down their school system because of COVID. So I think, obviously the more kids and the more teachers we can keep in our classrooms, we can keep our schools open.
That's right. I have to say, too, that because of the process, the way that we can collect data on this, some centers or some institutions are not able to do that yet. And so they have to rely strictly on the greater community's percentage of COVID positive cases. When you collect the data and you look at individual schools and whether or not something is being communicated rapidly in that school, that's a different kind of data. And so, although one part of the community may have a very large outbreak, if Smith Elementary School isn't, are we really needing to close that school? I'm not so sure that we need to do that.
That's fantastic. I think that is a lot of what's going on right now. People are shutting down over probably an abundance of caution. We understand why they are.
Yes.
But if we don't need to, we don't need to.
That's right.
And once again, I'd like to have you reiterate one more time that this is voluntary. Before we got involved in this process, there were a lot of strange things that were said that somehow our kids were going to be forced to do a number of things, and turns out none of that is true. Absolutely every bit of this is voluntary.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I just reiterate again? We look to a lot of resources in trying to make these determinations of what is the best way forward. Now, let me emphasize that word, best way forward. It is not the perfect way forward. It is not always the right way forward. It could be a month from now that new data comes up, and now we have to change directions, right? That's what we're waiting for. That's what we're wanting. We're wanting new, better information that tells us we're a little closer to getting back to who we were, what we were. Part of that is our community. Part of that are the people who can come forward and say, I found something. What do you think? So we want all the voices. We want all the information. We use it all. We use it all. And the more, the better. Knowledge is important, and it doesn't come from just one source.
Dr. Martinez, we certainly appreciate you. And this board knows that, Barbara Cargill, and our State Board of Education rep, Barbara Cargill, stand up, Barbara, we're going to do you, but stand up, is with us tonight. But Barbara, you may know, but we're going to be the best district in the state of Texas. I understand you just moved into our district here lately, but that's our goal. And we figured if you're going to be the best district in the state of Texas, you're probably going to have a chief medical officer that's going to take care of the health and the safety of our kids and our staff in the middle of a pandemic. And one of the things, we are not operating out of a mode of fear like I think so many other districts around the city. Our objective all along has been safely to open our schools and make sure our kids have the ability to be in our schools as much as possible as long as that is safe. And we figured we needed a pediatric doc to help guide us along those lines because we're not in the medical part of that. And Dr. Martinez is a practicing pediatrician. He works in several emergency rooms around this area and has been working with us and shaping our direction and got this clinic up and running, and thank you so much for that work. But what we've heard is that work is to ensure that we can get our kids back in the classroom safely, that we keep our teachers in the classroom when they don't have, because we've got folks that are feeling sick, but we go have them tested and we find out they don't have COVID. And as soon as those conditions are, we got them back in the classroom again. And it has really proved to be a game changer so much for us in staying open. And so thank you for your efforts, Dr. Martinez, and we're going to continue to see a lot of good things coming, and hopefully we'll get through this. Vaccines are on the way, and it's going to be a game changer for us, but we're still operating, and we're finding safe ways to get kids in front of teachers, and we're making great things happen in our school. So thank you so much for that report, Doctor. Anything else? So I want to cut the discussion off. I wanted Ms. Cargill to hear what we had going on, some neat things about what we're doing with Dr. Martinez. And
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Learning goes on in the schools, right? That's where we need to have them.
Amen.
All right, Dr. Todd, I think you're next.
Am I?
I think so. Here, you want
Well, I've been
glasses?
monopoly on the time here. COVID, we've got Teacher of the Month. No, we don't either, okay. We have a stranger in the house tonight. Charlie Riley, would you come on up here? We've got our county commissioner, Mr. Charlie Riley. And I say stranger in sort of tongue in cheek. Charlie is no stranger to anybody in Magnolia, particularly in Magnolia ISD. He served on this board and close your ears. I think may have been the best board president I think I've ever had here in Magnolia ISD.
I'm going to second that. Because we're trying to fill some big shoes up here, Charlie, and we're doing the best we can.
But during this time of the pandemic that we've been dealing with and the financial issues related to that, we've had some dollars that have flowed into Montgomery County. They've also flowed into the state of Texas. And to be honest, though, very few of those dollars have directly made their way into Magnolia ISD. And we're dealing with so many things we've talked about. We've got PPE that we've got extra staff. We've got a clinic here that we're staffing. All those other things that we're having to incur to keep us up and rolling at that time. We haven't seen a lot of that until Montgomery County stepped up to the plate and moved some of the CARE Act's funding that they had the ability to move directly to the students in Montgomery County. And I want to tell you that during that process of that time, your county commissioner, Charlie Riley, was an indispensable part of making sure that that money got into the schools and that a larger probably amount than maybe would have gotten there if it hadn't been for some of that influence. And we talked about how those things were going to be used, but I want to credit the entire court for that, but particularly for Charlie Riley of stepping up and so to the tune of, Eric, how much per kid? $300 per student, which was somewhere around $4 million to help us move education forward in Magnolia ISD. And so really what we're here tonight, Charlie, is to say thank you, man. You can't tell you how valuable those dollars, they're going to make a difference, they already have. And so, I'm going to shut up a little bit and let some of this board talk a little bit. And we'd like to hear something from you, too, about some of it. But these guys have got things to say, too. But anyway, appreciate you, man.
Kind of embarrassing standing up here. I really, again, do I need to get this microphone?
Probably do, so they can all hear.
As much as I do love Magnolia and Magnolia ISD in Montgomery County, we were fortunate enough that we started out with a measly $40 per student, and I knew that wasn't going to do anything. And then we got to looking about some of the money that we could move and could use, and then somebody on the court decided $200 a month, and then $200 a student. And then I met with Dr. Todd Stevens and Dr. Morris, and I don't forget who else I met with, and we come up with another figure, and when we got to court, it was on our agenda for $200 a student, and I was able to convince the court that we had enough money to make it at least $300 a student. So that's what we've done, not only for Magnolia, but every student, every school district in Montgomery County. It's over $30 million that we've allocated to schools and to the students. So it was my pleasure to do that. I don't think it's a secret to anybody here that what Magnolia ISD and Magnolia and Montgomery County mean to me. So I was just glad to do it.
You know, you through your work as a commissioner and just a citizen here in Magnolia, you've done a lot. But I'll tell you what, you sure have made a difference, my friend, in this little thing right here. It will go a long way into helping us keep the doors open and keep great things happening in Magnolia ISD, Charlie. But thank you, sir. We sure appreciate. Can we get a round of applause for Captain Bill?
So Charlie?
Don't know how to act when something like that happens. I do appreciate it, though.
Well, Charlie, I want to say for the benefit of the others that may not know a few things, a little tidbits, and some of these guys can chime in whenever they want. But number one, when this happened in March, we didn't get a dime's worth of help from anybody. So imagine a school district trying to pivot and all of a sudden everybody goes home. We've got to figure out how to teach 13,000 kids online with no help. So then that turns into electronic devices. How can we get internet access? That's unheard of to try to tackle that. On top of that, when we come back, we've got to pay for a lot of subs and a lot of costs that are associated with it because of the fallout of all this. So we can't thank you enough because, you know, we didn't get any help beforehand, and by golly, we got it now. That's awesome.
And I think it bears pointing out that even to this day, that's the only help we've gotten. And you know, no matter how you shake it, $4 million is $4 million.
Right.
And I know it's $30 million for the entire county, but just for our school district, that's $4 million that you didn't see another state or federal entity step up and pay us hard cash that we need to help make these programs work and get us through the year. And truly, you know, I hope everyone in this room hears this. I mean, our county commissioners are the ones who did this. And this is phenomenal. I mean, I mean it. My wife and I we were talking about this today. And we're blessed to live in Montgomery County. And we are certainly blessed to have men like you and ladies like this in our district that are in our county that will do these kind of things for us. This is thank heavens you have, because we sure need the help.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I know, I don't know if everybody knows, but you're a product of Magnolia Independent School District.
Yeah, I graduated in 1975.
Yeah.
There were 75 in my class. The guy that works for me, Don Dean, was number 70. I was 74 and he was 75.
There we go. No,
something like that.
But, and you did, Dr. Todd said it, you sat up here, you were on the board when I got on the board, and as you've moved forward in your career, you've never forgotten public education, and I appreciate that because I know it's not always positive, unfortunately. There are people that don't think you should support public education, and you've never given way to that. So just appreciate you always being willing to stand up and do the right thing.
Appreciate it.
And I'll add on to that, Commissioner Riley, just your heart for this community and your heart for the schools. I know that you know how much our teachers have just been working overtime and, you know, just trying to get just trying to pivot, get the online thing going. And this money is going to help supplement the bonuses that we've given them to try to do extra for the students. And I know you did it through the kindness of your heart for this community, so thank you.
I too want to welcome Barbara to the precinct. She's in my precinct too. So
We're going to figure out what we got to have her do next. She's going to be on a parent leadership or something.
She'll be doing something. She's always involved in everything, so she'll be good to have. Thank you all again. Look forward to whatever comes in the future. As long as I'm around, I'll do whatever I can.
You knocked it out of the park. Thank you.
Thank you,
Charlie.
All right, Dr. Garza, I think you're next.
Yes, sir.
You must have looked at the agenda.
I did.
Well, good evening. All right, it's my pleasure tonight to introduce our December 2020 Teacher of the Month. Our award recipient this evening is Mr. Robert Hawkins. He is joined up here tonight by Ms. Connie Felinsky, his principal, and Miss Alana Wood, our social studies director. Mr. Hawkins is been with us for quite a while. He has taught at Bear Branch Elementary, Bear Branch 6th grade campus, and now Bear Branch Intermediate. This is his 28th year in education, and unfortunately for us and numerous kids in the future, this will be his last, as him and his wife are going to be doing the lake life living on Lake Livingston. So congratulations to that. His wife is here also this evening, Lori, and she's also retiring this year. So congratulations to the Hawkins family. And Connie?
I have to open my piece of paper. So Mr. Hawkins is always surprising me with his kind words and kind actions. And I just wanted to share a little bit from an email that some of us received just hours after he was named December Teacher of the Month. He sent us an email, and he said, first, please note, I'll run out of breath if I don't do that. First, please know how touched and honored I am by the award and recognition today. I've tried to always be an educator who quietly attempted to make a difference for those most in need, to find a way to reach others so often ignored because they're trying to disappear within the room, as well as frequently under-pushed GT kiddos. It means a great deal to me that my efforts have been noticed and more importantly, hopefully effectual. I do not, however, know how I was nominated for this award, who specifically I need to thank, and the people who chose between me and the other nominees. I may only have 6 months left in the profession that I love, but learning what I may have done right will help me continue to attempt to impact my students and improve my craft. That, Mr. Hawkins, is why you were nominated as the December Teacher of the Month. You so carefully craft your words and your actions in every single day that you walk into our building, that you are leaving such an impact on so many, and it will long be forgotten.
I don't know how I can follow that. I've been in this position, this is my second year, and when I first walked into Mr. Hawkins' social studies team at Bear Branch Intermediate at 5th grade, the 5th grade team, I watched Mr. Hawkins, who obviously is retiring, all the way down to a second-year teacher in that group of teachers that work together. And we know that when a team can successfully work together and collaborate, even though there's differences and they work through those differences, we know that the kids benefit. And so Mr. Hawkins, being a part of that successful team, has benefited not just his students and every student that walks into his room, but the students of the other teachers that are part of that team. So every student that walks into his room, no matter if they're a special ed student on up to a GT student, those are the parents that have recognized him, and those are the kids that he teaches. So you just walk in and sit down at the desk in Mr. Hawkins' room, and he will teach you. Congratulations.
90% of our job is close the door, interact with children, push them to excel, push them to become more than they ever expected they could be, build character, build enthusiasm, build mutual respect, and set goals for each other. I get to play my small part in helping a child believe in themselves, helping them feel that school is a place where they can be happy, successful, and self-directed. Even when I worked at the high school, I did Student of the Week and Student of the Month. I try my best to make it an award that is earned, not expected. I'm also a bit of a woodworker, and so it's been my small way of giving kids a piece of me. I have notes from parents and students and administrators from 20 years ago. My favorite note I've ever received, and it's been on my wall for years, was from a child I thought loved school. This was the first year that they had ever felt that they wanted to be in school because it was a place where they could be valued. I wouldn't have known that if the kid hadn't told me. That was worth more to me than any bonus or trophy or corner office I ever could have gotten. And that is that little note from that kid is a certificate, a poster that I will take with me at the end of my 30-year career. It's why we do this, and it's why I'm proud to have been a teacher.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Teacher of the Month, Mr. Robert Hawkins. We also have some prizes for you from the MEF and our local community.
Robert, the school district and the community, in some ways we'd love to reach out and kind of give a hug to every single teacher we have in this school district that do so many wonderful things. But one of the things we decided this year is that at least once a month, we're going to find one of our best and tell them thank you for everyone. And, so this month you represent the best that's happening across this entire district. And Robert, we will say thank you for your years of service. And this is the way this community and school district are reaching out to you and telling you how much we appreciate the love and the patience and the smart work you put in for our kids. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you. I can't imagine that we waited 12 years to start doing this every month for our teachers. It's just the right thing to do. I just love having our best and brightest in here for this. Obviously our students, the month, but we got to have great teachers to make great students as a part of that. So,
and the students can see all the appreciation we're doing is all for you in the end of the day, right? Absolutely. I mean, that's our focus. That's awesome. Well, before we have somebody else up here, I'd like to talk a little bit about who I'm about to introduce here. We've got a young lady with us that has been with the State Board of Education since 2004, and she's one of the 15 members in that group, and that represents close to 2 million Texans in the state. She's been an active educator for over 30 years in the Dallas and Houston area. She got an undergrad at Baylor, Travis, and got a graduate degree at Texas Women's. And just want to introduce and thank Miss Barbara Cargill for being with us tonight. So thank you.
It's okay. All right. It's all right. It's all right.
I told Dylan, you're never too old for balloons, right? So I apologize having my back to you all, but I want to start by thanking each of you for your service. I've been on the state board for 16 years, but you are where the rubber hits the road. You can't go to the grocery or anything without someone approaching you about something, I'm sure. So thank you. And I'm loving everything I'm learning about Magnolia ISD. I loved hearing that COVID report, Dr. Stevens. I'm planning on contacting the commissioner tomorrow to say, here's a model district for you. So
We can straighten him out on a while.
please straighten him out. I'd rather have no one else at the helm than Commissioner Morath, but he does need some straightening out, that's for sure. But I'm here for the most fun part of my job, like you said, Mr. Chair. So it's all about the students, and this has just warmed my heart. So congratulations to you for winning your award. And then where'd our teenager go? Down there. Oh, whoa, down there. Okay, y'all have these like masks on. I don't get it. So congratulations to you as well. So we are here to honor yet another student, and that is this young man standing right here, Dylan Taylor. And I'm so excited to be able to honor him because this is something that only 15 students in our state receive every year. And so this is my 16th year on the board. I am retiring, which is why Dr. Stevens said he wanted to grab me up since I live close by. But I love nothing more than being in school, so I'll be on it. I love that. But when I was chair of the board, I was appointed by Rick Perry a few years ago to serve as chair of the State Board of Education. There are 15 of us. And I accepted, and I felt like I did my job. It was a 4-year term, but I just felt like at the end of it, what am I leaving? What legacy? And I felt like out of all the things that we do in Austin and all the way we try to fight for kids, that we did not honor a student. We honor adults. We had adult volunteers that we would honor once a year, but we weren't doing that for students. And why do we do what we do? I mean, we do it for the kids. And so that is why I asked the board to vote on having a student hero. And so you are my last student hero, and I think I've kind of saved the best for last. So I have a plaque for you here, and then I'm going to read a little bit of the resolution that was adopted at our board meeting. So come over here. All right. And so it says, the Texas State Board of Education congratulates Dylan Taylor, Magnolia West High School, 2020 Student Hero. So go ahead and grab that. Just grab the plaque part. And I got a lot of nominations from across my 9 counties because I don't know how many kids I represent, but it's about 1.9 million people. And so I had a lot of nominations, and I was like, this is my guy right here. And so I did ask Mr. Litton to come up because he nominated Dylan. And so I want you to come up and I'm putting you on the spot. I want you to tell why you nominated him. Because what caught my eye is that Dylan loves to mentor elementary students. And most high school kids, a lot of you are kind of too cool for that, but you're not. And I thought that was pretty awesome. Come here. He doesn't want to talk, I can tell, but I'm happy you might have to talk.
I thought having my mask on is like a sign that I don't want to talk. That's what I meant. Last year was my first year working at Magnolia ISD, and Dylan was actually one of the first kids that I met because I was over juniors as an assistant principal at Magnolia West. I was over juniors, and he was the class president, and he's been class president from his freshman year. Is that 3 years now? Sophomore year, junior year, and now his senior year as well. And there's not a negative thing that I've ever heard about Dylan said. He is just a true student leader in the hallways, in the classroom. I think one of the biggest reasons why I nominate him is because of his heart for others, his selflessness. As I'm going through trying to think up students to nominate, the one story that came to mind was a student that did not want to come to school. He was driving out of his way to pick that kid up to bring him to school. He didn't know the kid. The kid actually had his mom as a teacher. That's the only reason why I knew the kid. The kid didn't want to come to school, was struggling to get to school. He goes out of his way to pick that student up, to bring him to school, invites him to soccer games, to sporting events, just to go out of his way. I think that's what a true Magnolia ISD student is, and is reflective of that. And I'm appreciative of him and other students like him, but he is going to make millions of dollars somewhere. There's no doubt in my mind that later this week he will be accepted into hopefully the school of his choice as a senior, and he'll go on to do great things next year and years after. So that's why.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me put you on the spot. I had planned on that. So you can see what attracted me to Mr. Linton's nomination. And, when I was thinking of, what legacy do I want to leave and who do I want to acknowledge? And of course, I'm all about kids because I actually taught high school biology for many, many years. I know you girls on the volleyball team, that's probably one of your favorite subjects, right? Yeah, it was, I loved it. And so, but I just kept thinking, I don't want just any student chosen. I want students who really put others first, and you said that. You told me about that in his nomination form, about him picking the other child up, and really who put others first, just that caring and compassion and what we want our students to emulate and what they're doing when no one else was looking, which I heard another nominator, another teacher read about another child. There you go, about her, right? And so that's so important. And as the mother of 3 sons, we especially need young men role models. So thank you for being such a role model. So now it's my turn to put you on the spot. And I'm looking at all these students in here. Just give them one word of advice. It doesn't have to be long. Why is it important to volunteer and put other students, other kids, anybody else first?
Yes, okay. Thank you all for having me here today, and then thank you for choosing me, and then you for nominating me. Yeah, putting others first. For me, as a Christian, it starts there, Jesus, putting others first. Then my parents. My parents always put me first, no matter what was going on in their life, no matter what financial situation we were in. They always decided to put me first. I'm very blessed for that. And then elementary school, middle school, high school, you meet a lot of people. Some of them you'll be friends with. Some of them you'll probably have little to no conversations with. Some you might not even like. But each and every person you meet has their own world just like you do. Their own mindset, their own beliefs, their own love for anything. And it's just important that everyone you meet, you have no clue what they're going through. So why not be kind? Why not love them? Because, I could see someone in the hallway. They could be having the worst day. You have no clue what they're going through. And that simple hello, that simple smile, that could change their day. And it's just kind of this effect that goes on, this domino effect. You help someone, they help someone else. And I'm very humbled to receive this award. And there's plenty of other people that are in here that could have probably received the award just like I did. Just because you put others first, and that's what matters, whether you receive this award or not. It's just about putting others first and spreading love, and yeah, that's it. Just love each other.
Well said, very well said. I love that. Let's give him a round for... I'm amazed you came up with that just on the spot. I'm pretty sure you could go into public speaking and maybe be an elected official someday, right? We need guys like you. Let's recruit you. So I'm not going to read the whole resolution because it has information about all 15 of our students who were chosen. I'll just read the part about you in the introduction. It says, whereas the State Board of Education's Student Heroes Award, created in 2015, recognizes Texas public school students who engage in unselfish acts of kindness and service that benefit their fellow students or community, and whereas State Board members selected outstanding students across the state as recipients of the 2020 Student Heroes Award, and here's your part, whereas Dylan Taylor, a senior at Magnolia West High School and Magnolia ISD, actively volunteers in service organizations such as Martha's Kitchen that serves meals to the homeless, spearheads a mentoring program at an elementary school each week, pre-COVID, but will happen post-COVID, right? And participates in many other support activities, and that the State Board of Education extends its heartfelt thanks to each of these kind-hearted students and commends them for their unselfish volunteerism, good character, and integrity. And be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to each of them and a copy be held in the permanent records of the State Board of Education. And it's signed by our chair and our secretary of the board. There you go. So let's congratulate Dylan one more time. Thank you for having me.
Dylan, are your parents here? Well, you want to introduce them? And well, let's bring them up here. I mean, we want to claim them. We think they're responsible for you.
Dr. Stevens, the board chair. Thank you.
We got kids recognized by State Board of Education. How
That's
about
right. So Presley, Nora, y'all see it just gets better and better as you get older, right?
That's right. All right. Let's
All
keep
right.
rolling.
Miss Wood, where did she run off to? Not too far.
Dr. Stevens and the board, as you know, last month we celebrated several of our students that were, or who had achieved PSAT scores that College Board recognized as deserving recognition. It came to our attention that, and I'm happy to say, that we have 11 more that deserve this recognition as well, and they qualified for this in both the Hispanic and the rural schools categories. And so in order to make sure that we honor these students as well, we're back here tonight to do so. With these additional recognitions, Magnolia ISD now has a total of 17 College Board
Say that again. How many?
17, we're double digits, yes. 17 College Board recognitions between our two high schools. At this time, Derek Parsons will introduce the students from Magnolia High School.
Nice looking mask. We've seen you before. I mean, you can.
Thank you, Dr. Stevens. All right, good evening, everyone. Dr. Stevens, Mr. Blizzard, School Board, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Derek Parsons. I'm the Advanced Academics Coordinator for Magnolia High School. And on behalf of Magnolia High School this evening and Mr. Quinn, we are very pleased to introduce 11 College Board recognition students to you tonight. 8 of them are able to be here this evening. So Mr. Quinn will assist in handing out some awards to them, and I'd like to introduce each one of them to you. So we will start with Thomas Osborne. Thomas, oh, go ahead. Thomas is qualified for the College Board National Hispanic Recognition. He is the son of Maria and Kirk Osborne. He plans to go to Texas A&M University in mechanical engineering. He is the varsity captain of basketball. He is the senior class president and is the, boy, his glasses. He is a member of the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, Science Honor Society, and Mu Alpha Theta. Once again, Thomas Osborne. And next is rural and small town. We have Jensen Altum. Jensen is the daughter of Dan and Leah Altum. She's going to attend Texas A&M College of Engineering. She is a second runner-up in Montgomery County Fair Queen. She's an AP honor with distinction. Had over 1,500 on her SAT. She is a member of FFA, NHS, Interact Club, Spanish Honor Society, and Mu Alpha Theta. Jensen Altum. Next we have Ashton Dimney. He is the son of Renee and Michael Dimney. He's going to plan on attending Texas A&M in pursuit of a mechanical engineering degree. He also plans to be in the Corps of Cadets in the Fighting Texas Aggie Band. He plans on pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering. He's also a member of National Honor Society, Band, and NEHS. Ashton Dimney. We now have Pharaoh Ferguson. She is the daughter of Lisa and Jeff Ferguson. She plans on majoring in industrial engineering at either Texas A&M, Colorado School of Mines, or SMU. She wants to pursue a career, as I said, in engineering and eventually end up in management. She has been on the All-A honor roll since 2008. She's a MHS Citizenship Award, has acquired a number of outstanding awards in different subject areas, such as pre-AP chemistry, algebra, geometry. She won the Principals Award in 2018. She is part of the Magnolia ISD Student Leadership Program, National Honor Society President, Mu Alpha Theta National Charity League, and Bonnie's Dance Studio Pre-Professional Ballet Company. Ladies and gentlemen, Pharaoh Ferguson. Next we have Benjamin Nunn. Benjamin is the son of Lori and Dave Nunn, and he says he wants to go to college and live somewhere pretty. Man after my own heart. He'll be involved in media productions. He has been to regionals in one-act play and in UIL film, and he is active heavily in the theater, National Honor Society, and Mu Alpha Theta, Mr. Benjamin Nunn. Next we have Nicholas Jones. He is the son of Andrew and Jamie Jones, and just found out today that he will be attending Rose Holman Institute of Technology in Indiana, is that right? In Indiana, and hopefully to serve in the armed forces as an engineer. He's going to enter physics engineering. He has founded, which is a fun thing on our campus this year, the B-Dog News segment. He's an IB diploma student, had a 33 on his ACT. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Jones. Next we have Kagan Sloan. Kagan is the son of James and Stephanie Sloan. He plans to attend the University of Texas at Dallas to pursue a master's degree in biology and subsequently pursuing a master's in bioinformatics. Did I say that right? Okay. He's been on the AV honor roll multiple times. Is a member of the Model UN and UIL academics. Ladies and gentlemen, Kagan Sloan. And last but certainly not least, we have Maggie Teetsman. She's the daughter of Mindy and Joey Teetsman. She's going to attend Baylor University and study professional writing and rhetoric. She is a woodwind captain in the band, earned first division in UIL solo and ensemble competition at the state level, All-A honor roll, vice president of administration for band, member of the National Honor Society, National English Honor Society, National Science Honor Society, and Mu Alpha Theta. Ladies and gentlemen, Maggie Teetsman. Once again, we are so proud of these students and the accomplishments you guys have made in your academics career. Can't wait to see where it goes from here. Congratulations.
Good job, guys.
Seems like we had a disproportionate amount of those that want to go to A&M in engineering. What in the world are we doing out there?
I'm telling you, we're brainwashing them right, Dr.
Well, in
Todd.
case some of you didn't know, we happen to have an engineering staff member at A&M right here in our board president, so I don't want to be any kind of pressure on him about any of that group, but if you're looking for an inside track, I talk to this guy right here.
Come visit me.
You know.
And I had to say something because Christy's not here, the other lone Aggie on the board, so I had to speak up, you know?
We got some other ones. We got a Baylor one in there, a few other ones. So,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dr. Stevens and the school board, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to recognize a special group of ladies here tonight with us. And that group of ladies would be the 2020 19-5A district champions and regional semifinalist Magnolia High School volleyball team. So if you ladies will start making your way up here, I'm going to say a couple words about these ladies. If one word describes these ladies, I believe it's heart. The heart of a champion. If we think back early on in the season, these ladies flipped the switch and played on a whole other level. They extended themselves to the fullest in competition, regardless of the situation, be it in practice or in the games. This team displayed many intangibles throughout the season, such as effort, desire, determination, competitiveness, leadership, and courage. What a memorable night December 1st was, ladies, because I saw a team that believed in each other and played with heart. They truly left everything on the court that night. We are extremely proud of you girls and all your accomplishments. Congratulations on a great season. And at this time, I would like to introduce the head volleyball coach for Magnolia High School and the coach of the year in 19-5A, Coach Ashley Ferris.
Thank you, Coach Berna. Before I introduce to you our team, I would like to just take a moment to thank Mr. Blizzard, Dr. Stevens, and the board, not only for inviting us here tonight to recognize these awesome girls, but just for your support throughout the entire season. I remember receiving several emails throughout the season with words of encouragement from you. You guys have been to our games to support the girls, and we just want you to know how much we appreciate that, and just for giving us a season to be able to play through a pandemic. So we appreciate you fighting for us. Little recap of our season. We were 18-8 overall with a district record of 12-2. We finished district champions and regional semifinalists. We have 16 girls here who made a choice to unite together as one. They had a mission to compete with each other and their opponents every single day. And there was something so special about this group that we figured out probably, I guess, second round of district, and it was the bond that we had all formed together. And that's something that's undefeated. Something that someone can't take from us, can't beat us, can't break it. It was something that we held on to all the way to the regional semifinals. And it's something that we will never forget. So it's my honor to introduce to you your 2020 district champions. Starting with our coaching staff, we have our freshman coaches, Coach Kendra Sandset and Allison Abenshine, and our JV coach, Coach Kaylee Knopp, and our varsity assistant, Brooke Neal. Our managers, sophomores Ariana Garcia and Briley Smith. Our two freshmen, Allie Gentry, who received academic all-district, Chloe Richards, who also received academic all-district, sophomores Whitney Harper, academic all-district, juniors Bryn Botkin, first team all-district, academic all-district, Drew Dalabakis, academic all-district, Kaylin Foyt, who is not here tonight, but she was co-defensive player of the year and also academic all-district, Sydney Gentry, second team all-district, Claire McCusker, academic all-district, Kaylee Kelton, academic all-district, and our seniors, starting with Ellie Anderson, First Team All-District, and Academic All-District. Ellie is graduating this week and attending Florida State University. Ava Cruz, Academic All-District, and she was just accepted into Texas A&M University last week. Raina King, Second Team All-District and Academic All-District. Raina is undecided, but we believe that she will either land at Florida State University or the University of Texas. Hook 'em. Faith Lynch, Most Valuable Player of the District and Academic All-District. Faith is also graduating this week and going to further her academic and volleyball career at Baylor University. Marissa Moffitt, Second Team All-District and Academic All-District. Marissa will also be attending Baylor University. And something very special about this group of 5 seniors that they also received Academic All-State, which means that they averaged a 92 or better all 4 years of high school. And I just think that that's a great accomplishment. Definitely great examples of what it takes to be a student athlete. So great job. And I would also just like to thank our principal, Mr. Quinn, who's here tonight, for supporting the girls in this team. Thank you, board.
Hello, hello, hello. You don't get off that easy, Coach Ferris. So I'm a dad of one of these volleyball players, and you know, all the success that we had this year was awesome, and you know, that's a lot of fun. And if you could see the whole story the last 4 years, it's pretty remarkable, and you could probably write a book about it, and kind of the volleyball version of Hoosiers, you know. But what's really great, though, is the amount of success we had in volleyball really pales in comparison with the kind of person that Coach Ferris is. And so you want your kids to play for somebody like Coach Ferris. So I just want to say, on behalf of me, in front of the board and everybody here, you know, how much I appreciate you and just how you've shepherded my daughter these last, you know, 3.5 years through volleyball season, and just how special it was to watch you love on her and love on these girls, and I just want to say that we appreciate you as a person, because she's a lot better person than she even is a volleyball coach, which she's a darn good volleyball coach. So anyway, thank you so much.
Those girls can play volleyball, I'm telling you, here to tell you that. And Coach, I don't know what the secret sauce that you had I mean, from the beginning of this year to where these gals ended up, but I mean, that team really did gel and came a long way, and we were so proud of them there at the end. So thank you and all of them. And I know this, that throughout their lives, they're going to engage in things with other people, and they're going to be better at it because they know how to work together on a team, and they'll think back to those experiences, and they're going to help guide it. So we're just so proud of you and them for what they did again. So let's give them one more round of applause. Winners here in Magnolia ISD. Right. We got more? That's all right now, and then we got to take a break.
Well, you know, it's amazing. Look around. We've almost filled up this new event center. We're distanced, of course. We've almost filled it up. We've had athletics, academics, extracurriculars. I mean, it's something to be proud of, and we appreciate everybody that came to support all the people that we recognize tonight. It's an awesome part of the evening, and we just eat this up. That's why we do what we do. So, anyway. Not to run anybody off, because we want you to encourage you to stay as long as you want, but we're going to take a short break and continue with the business part of the meeting. Thank you. All right, the first thing I'm supposed to ask, and I did not do this before, do we have anybody signed up to speak? And I know we have one. Do we have any others? Just the one? Okay. All right. So before we get started with that, I'm going to read the kind of the rules of the game, so to speak. With the speaking audience participation, participants must have turned in a request form 15 minutes prior to the start of the meeting. Participation is limited to 3 minutes. Any complaint or charge brought against an employee by name Opposition for which resolution has not been sought in accordance with policy should be pursued through the district's grievance policy. Please note that the Board of Trustees shall not deliberate, respond, or make decisions regarding any subject that is not included on the agenda that is posted. Having said all that, we love to hear from people, and so this is our opportunity to listen. Lauren Bohannon, if you want to come up here and speak to us tonight, we welcome you up here.
Since I am the only one to speak, is it okay if I go a little bit over my 3 minutes?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. I promise it won't be much more than 3 minutes. Okay. First, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak for myself, my children, and on behalf of hundreds of other parents in this community. I am a lifelong resident of Magnolia, as are my parents, making my children third-generation Magnolians. We have loved and supported this community and the schools our entire lives. My grandfather and my mother worked for this district for many, many years. I remember a time when the administration and the school board had the best interest of the students and staff in mind in all that they did, in every decision they made. I'm sad to say I haven't seen that in several years, and it's especially been proven with the way admin has handled this pandemic and the ridiculous, fear-driven, inconsistent, overreaching policies it's implemented. Mounting data supports that children do not have a significant role in the spread of COVID-19. Mortality rates in children are statistically non-existent. I am not trying to downplay the fact that the virus can be serious for some people. So can the flu, pneumonia, etc., but we have never mandated masks or testing for our students due to those outbreaks, nor have we completely disrupted their education and their right to learn, nor have we hired a district physician as a consultant with a $120,000 a year salary. Since the fall 2020 semester and sports began, we have had athletes in extremely close contact without masks. If you think of football alone, with hundreds of players sweating, spitting, full body contact every day in the locker rooms and on the field, without masks and no significant COVID outbreaks. During the West volleyball season, they had very inconsistent rules for masks. Again, a lot of close contact, yet they never had an outbreak during the season. That includes all 4 teams. Students are also sitting next to and practically on top of each other in the lunchroom, obviously without masks. When these students are not actually on campus, they are hanging out together without masks. Again, no significant outbreaks. These mask rules at school not only have no scientific backing, they are detrimental to our children. 11 and 12-year-olds at the intermediate school are being sent to ISS if they forget their mask 2 or more times per week, instead of just being handed a school-issued mask and letting them continue to their classrooms. They're sent to in-school suspension with the bad kids and removed from their learning environment. Give me a break and stop the madness. Let them learn. Forcing them to sit at their desks for 8 hours without being able to get the right amount of oxygen to their brains is abusive and absolutely affecting their ability to listen, learn, and retain information. Teachers are also using the masks as an excuse to either discipline or guilt students into submission. One teacher at West, when she has to remind a student to pull their mask up, also follows it up with, "I don't want to die today." This teacher has absolutely no right to put the responsibility of her health on a child or teenager. If she is afraid of the virus, she has every right to choose to wear a mask herself. She's also threatened to send students to the office if she has to keep reminding them to pull their mask up. Again, removing a child's right to an education, all because they're trying to breathe, is pure insanity, and also illegal, but I don't have time to get into that today. Please, please consider scaling back and removing these policies for the well-being of our children. I was hoping I would have more time to share quotes from scientific studies and data from doctors regarding the effectiveness or lack thereof of masks. This information was shared with me from my family doctor, who agrees with all of it. He himself has not mandated mask usage among his staff or patients throughout this entire pandemic. Instead, I will be forwarding all of this data and the full links via email to the entire school board and Dr. Stevens after this meeting. I hope and pray that you will truly have an open mind when reading this information and follow the actual science instead of the government bureaucrats and dictators in Austin. Thank you.
Thank you for taking time to come up here tonight. Okay, we're going to move on to our consent agenda. This portion of the agenda consists of items to be routine and acted by one motion unless separate discussion is requested. That's 9A through F. Do we have any separate discussion? We have any questions about any of this? We've had the chance to review it, so we're good? Okay, so we need a motion that we approve consent agenda items 9A through F. Motion by Kelly, seconded by Chuck. All in favor? That motion passes. Thank you.
I think Mr. Greener got what he needed out of that. I mean, y'all probably have read in there, there's some
the fire
updating, fire suppression system over at the daycare. And so we're going to roll with that. We got extensions to all of the concerns they had about letting us be able to do that. And I think he hopes to have that completed by end of March, you think, or somewhere? Yeah, so we'll get that and take it down. And our latest plans are to expand that entire hallway. I know y'all been down through there for a tour of that whole hallway, and I think we're going to move the food service group out of there and give that all to our daycare, because that's a very popular program, and I think we actually have some waiting lists. I think I saw Stephanie somewhere out here, but I think we've got probably teachers in the waiting list on that, and so we expand that area. We'll be able to probably double the capacity we have for daycare in that area. So this money is well spent, doing that fire suppression system in that building. Anyway.
That's excellent. I know you were telling me we've got plenty of capacity. Well, it improves our capacity for more students.
Exactly. Yeah, I think there's about 100 there now. Is that right, Stephanie? We'll be able to go somewhere around 200 or so. We'll be able to take care of in that building. And it's just for those that have their kids, particularly our teachers and other support people that put their kids in there, that's just a huge bonus for those folks.
It's become popular and a very good thing to be offered. So that's a great thing. Okay, sir, anything else? I'll give you my glasses, but I need them.
I see executive session. That's what I see.
All right, sir. I know you guys like to stay here as long as you can. But at this point, we're going to move to recess into closed executive session for purposes permitted by pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.072, discussion of purchase, sale, exchange, or value of real property, and finally, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, personnel discussion and recommendations. So thank you.
Y'all want to just mention if we hadn't told them lately to the administrators out there?
Absolutely, absolutely. You're our favorite. You're the best. If we hadn't told you lately, we appreciate you.
It might just be the best set of administrators.
I haven't rehearsed this enough. Thank you.
We're on.
All right, we're back. Need a motion that we adjourn this meeting. Motion by Kelly, seconded by Sonia. All those in favor? This meeting is adjourned.
9:14.